good. Got a great salt back there. Buckets. Just about what I thought. Hats off to Greg and his crew, and they've obviously had some productive practice time as well since their last ball game, and it's a good basketball team. They're awkward to play against, we put it bluntly. There's not a lot of teams that play that way. Zones different. It's kind of hard to play against. I thought we did some good things. I was really impressed with our defense the second half. I thought I wanted the game. Really valuable lesson for our guys to understand that not every game is fun, easy, pretty. There's some games that are going to be lower possession and you got to grind it, and some games that the ball doesn't go in and you got to figure out how to win. And you hold one of Greg's teams to 425 from the three. I thought our perimeter defense was excellent, and I thought that won us the game. And then I thought Tommy was terrific in in the middle of the zone, especially in the first half. But turned it over too much, too sloppy. With live ball turnovers. We got to figure that out. I don't know, maybe it was probably my fault trying to play too fast against it. We had a lot of live ball transition turnovers. They gave a lot of those up in their first game, and we didn't execute very well, and that's on me. But when we did execute in the half court, for the most part, we were pretty good.
Brett, this game is much more physical than the first two. Some of that's Oakland, but does
A lot of that's Oakland.
how do
Did you see those guys?
Yeah.
I think Brett would like a couple of those guys, defensive end or outside linebacker.
How does that help you though moving forward against like in Big Ten and playing?
Yeah, you've got DQs. I think they list him at 6'3", 222 pounds, and that's their point. That's their lead guard, and both those wings are 6'6", 6'7", and then the physicality on the glass. It doesn't matter what size you are. They're 240 pounds. I think between the two of them, the two starting bigs, are almost 8 offensive rebounds a game. It doesn't matter. When you're physical and strong, and that will help us immensely. It gives us a pretty good taste of what big, strong athletes look like. And I thought we did a pretty good job for the most part. We got beat on a couple cross screens we got to clean up, but for the most part, I thought we were pretty solid, and we'll need to be as we move forward.
Big picture-wise, Coach, what have you learned about your team over these first 3 games, and what's some of the focal points this week to prepare for Alabama?
Yeah, I think every game's different, which is what we've tried to see. A team that I think we faced 3 teams that are very different and distinct in their style of play. But I think that all of those are new experiences for our guys, every style of play. I think that as we head into Alabama, we'll see a different style of play. A team that was right there with us offensively last year. I think we're trying to play in a way that the biggest, most important takeaway for me is just that it's not always fun and easy and free flowing, and there's going to be some grinded out games. I thought we handled that pretty well for the most part, and yet we've still got some things we got to work on.
Coach, the shots weren't falling today, but did you think that your team still created good looks for themselves?
I have no problem with our looks. I thought that the thing that hurt us on the offensive side was the turnovers. I thought we were selective in transition in the second half. Maybe didn't run enough, but I don't know, what did we take? How many threes did we take? 25. Again, it's in a low possession game. I'm good with those. I just thought that Tommy in the middle was good. We put KJ in the middle. He was good. It was a game where the they tried to take, excuse me, take away our threes. And we still found some opportunities to get them off, but all in all, not too bad.
Brad, obviously Kylan made a big impact defensively tonight. How's he impacting the game for you on that end, and how is he finding his way in your offense, which you said is a lot different than what he ran at Arizona?
Yeah, the thing I'm the most proud of with Kylan is he hasn't forced anything. He hasn't worked. You know, I mean, we've had 3 games now where it's just been different for our lead guards, our primary ball handlers. They haven't had, you know, we saw a trap in the first game. We saw, you know, a hard hedge, and you know, then today we see a zone. You know, there's going to be a night when all those guys are going to have to score and be more aggressive scoring. Kylan's just taking what the game's given. I think he's had some good looks. He hasn't shot it great. It was great to see him finally make one, but he has not let that interfere at all with what he's done on the defensive side. He's been dominant at that end, and you know, I feel like he's one of the better on-ball defenders that are out there.
He talked a lot about you kind of presenting that to him in the recruiting process, his ability. Like, what did you see that you wanted to unlock with him, just in terms of physically what he could do defensively?
Well, he's really athletic, and he's got a frame that is just so strong and powerful. And he's, you know, he can overpower a lot of guards with his strength and his quickness. And then he's really twitchy in tight areas. You know, he can really move quick, really fast, and he's got just that ability to make point of entry for an offense hard, and then he's fast. You know, so him chasing off screens and his physicality blowing up screens, those are all things that he's capable of doing. You find very few players that have all of those tools.
Brent, Draven, I thought his energy and effort was like tremendous tonight. I just want to get your thoughts on his play.
Draven's been great. You know, I think he made one mistake that we got to clean up, where he tried to take the guy's ball and got beat downhill. When Draven just stays solid, stays in front, works, you know, he's really good. I thought his energy offensively was really good. So it was. I've been really pleased with the way Draven's playing. I'm excited, and he's going to have some big nights. And on the offensive side, I think he helped us a lot tonight.
What Oakland did is, I mean, how you described them to us yesterday, and how you describe, you know, what they do to your team. Just what's the difference between maybe hearing it and going through it on, you know, scout, and then seeing it, you know, live and in person?
Well, you know, I think that it's so unique, and you know, we were pretty good last year, and we were down 8-0. We were down 10-2. We played from behind the entire game against them last year. When you combine that defense, which forces you into some longer possessions, and then you slow down like they do, they might be one of the most efficient teams in the country in the last 8 seconds of a shot clock. And so they're going to limit your possessions. And so it, you know, magnifies every trip. And over the course of time, you start to feel a little bit of that angst, and anxiety sets in, and, you know, you turn it over, and it puts a little pressure on your defense. And so it's just a culmination of what it does mentally to some teams. And, you know, I thought for the first time seeing that was pretty solid. And I think we showed we've got a guy in Tommy who can handle it and puts a lot of pressure on his own defense. And then I thought we, you know, got some good looks. We didn't shoot it great.
Brett, obviously, you guys have a lot of confidence in KJ, but what do you want him to take from tonight in some of the rocky moments that he had?
Well, you can tell he's from Europe. They don't play zone. You know, so it's not something that he's probably seen a lot. You know, it's just making simple plays. You know, and it's not out of a ball screen. You know, it's not. You know, he's one of the best players in the country doing that. You know, tonight it was just, you know, stationary. I thought he played a little, you know, maybe a little sped up. That's on me. I didn't do a very good job with him in terms of understanding the balance of the floor, and he's always been able to find a crease and find a gap and put a lot of pressure on people with that. And it's a little different against the zone. And but you know, he's got to go through it, and he's Brazilian and tough, and you know, I thought he made some really nice plays late.
And I know you always talk about your guards rebounding and how much you want out of them. I think they had 11 tonight, KJ, Dre, and Kylan. What would you think about that? Is that about, I'm sure you probably want more, but what do you think about what they were able to do?
No, we need our guards to rebound. You know, it's there's no doubt we've got to become a five-man rebounding team, and that's on both ends. I thought, you know, I think Dre had 3 offensive rebounds at half. Ben had a couple. You know, those are things that, you know, Trey is very good on the glass. Will has been very good on the glass. But again, you can't let the tempo and the flow of the game slow you down. You still have to find your energy. And when our guards rebound, that's when we're at our best in terms of transition and running. You know, KJ got every rebound early, and you know, that's a great sign for us when our guards are rebound.
Which is 28 minutes for Will Riley and night 14 for Trey. How do you see that playing out at the 3? Will it come down to matchups or hot hand or whatnot?
Yeah, and it's not going to be like that position. It was. I mean, you're solidifying a position, and that's not the case. Those guys will play together. You know, I think it was more. You know, Kylan was being pretty good, and you know, KJ's been a guy that's been really good all year, and Draven, and you know, it was just kind of one of those nights. I don't make too much out of that. I think that there's going to be nights you'll see both those guys play a lot together.
Tough night for Will, just overall. As you know, for him being so young, what do you tell him before going to play? You know, those higher ranked opponents after kind of struggling against a team like Oakland.
Well, Oakland's really good now. Don't go saying a team like Oakland now. I mean, you realize they were, you know, last second shot from the Sweet 16 last year. So let's not start that stuff. You know, because a team's in a power conference and a team's not. I'm not buying into that. But you know, you've got a freshman who didn't make a couple shots, and guess what? The good thing is we get to play again, and he does it every single day, and he makes a lot of shots. Those are shots that he's going to make every single night, and the only way that I'll get upset with young Will is if he quits shooting them, and I know he won't. But that's no slouch. He gets that. We won't face many teams that physical and that athletic all year long.
Brett, I know Tommy's played at a high level, so maybe it's an easier transition, but you know, 52 points through 3 games. Just what stood out to you about his transition and how he's played through these first 3 games and going into Alabama?
Yeah, it's been smooth for him. It's been almost kind of effortless, and I don't mean that in a casual way. It's just taking what the game gives to him. You know, there's going to be nights when he's going to shoot threes. There's going to be nights like tonight when it was the little floater. It's just him taking advantage of what it was. I thought he got a little tired late and fumbled a couple that he normally shouldn't. And, you know, so we got to get him into better shape. But I thought he just was an absolute dominant, and he was really good defensively. But it's just easy. He doesn't force anything that's not there. He looks to be a great teammate, and again, his understanding of the game mentally allows him to do that. His skill set's pretty doggone good.
He sounds kind of businesslike with us. Like, you know, coach, this is what they're going to do. This is what they did. He said, this is where I need to go. That's where I went. Like, is that the right read, businesslike? Has that been a similar experience you've had with him?
Yeah, other than telling my hair looked like crap. Tommy's really funny. He's really got a great understanding. He's seen a lot in his early, you know, understanding of the game. He's got a maturity about him that is probably beyond his years, but He's very smart, so he pays attention in scout. He knows what's coming. He knows when we're trying to jam a left shoulder. He knows when he's got to give help. He's a great communicator. So there's, I think when he steps across the line, he's pretty business oriented, pretty focused, and pretty on point.
Brad, you mentioned decision making tonight. I just wanted to get your thoughts on just the balance for the team being aggressive versus sharing the ball.
Yeah, that's on me. We talk about, we call it .5 basketball all the time, and that's, you look at our assist totals the last couple of games, and they've been great. And trying to play aggressive and fast in number of possessions, there's a fine line between doing it under control and doing it and being reckless, and asking guys to do something that they're not capable of doing. Running the floor hard, we can do that, and we're not doing that consistently enough. But making decisions when you're playing fast, not everybody can do that. Sometimes we're better off just putting the brakes on and being aggressive in the half court, because reality is KJ's one of the elite ball screen guys in the country, and we're going to make great decisions. Is he going to turn it over a couple times? Absolutely. He's got the ball in his hands. We just saw that in the game before. But again, every game's different, and we got to find that right balance.
Brad, it's still early in the season, but what are you most proud of with this group through 3 games and from where they've come from since the summer?
Yeah, I think that we've grown a tremendous amount on the defensive side. I think we're starting to understand what winning looks like. Winning's hard; it's not easy, and winning can come in a lot of different ways. And I go back to the Ole Miss exhibition, and again we played a lot of people, and we didn't make any changes. We just tried to stick to a very basic script, and yet it was the tenacity, it was the desire, it was the want to, it was all the little things that we didn't do, and now we're starting to do. And our guys have to understand that, the true saying, everyday guy, that's who we have to be. And tonight, I'm so ecstatic with our guys tonight, because it wasn't pretty, and you found a way to win ugly, and we did that with gritty defense and very few mistakes on that end.
Brad, it seems like you're getting activity and want to from Will defensively, probably why you're playing 28 minutes a night and doesn't make a lot of shots. How have you seen that progress for him, a guy that's known a lot for his offense?
Yeah, he cares, he tries, he works at it. His length, we call him rear view contest. His ability to come over the top and block shots and challenge shots. He's probably altered more shots than anybody on our team doing that. And that's a great, probably haven't had one like that since IO. But he's getting really good at it. He's understanding it hurts to run into a screen, so let me avoid him. And he's fast and athletic, and I think we've seen major strides. That's why I played him tonight. He was so good defensively, chasing them around, that I didn't care whether he made or missed shots. I was really pleased with what he did on the defensive side.
This is the last one.
Kylan, you told us that before he even got here, you were maybe stressing what he could be defensively. What was it about him in Arizona that had you thinking that, and how is maybe seeing him embrace that as well?
It was before Arizona. We recruited him pretty hard, and I thought that was an aspect that he could be a dominant player, was defensively. And I've always liked his makeup on that side of the court, and I've always liked the fact that he's won. You don't win games like he's won throughout his career without doing something defensively, and his tenacity has been great. I told him he's the best two-way player in the Big Ten, and if you're that, then you're going to position yourself to be one of the better ones nationally. But he's taken that to heart. He's doing it every single day in practice. It's fun to see him and KJ and Draven and Trey and all those guys go at it in practice. Yeah, I think he can just continue to grow on that end. And as long as he's doing that, he's got a place that is going to keep him on the court. Thank you.